Look around, feel it. The restless pulse beneath every boardroom, every portfolio, every single chart you stare at late into the night. Capital is not staying put, not in the markets you used to trust. It's not just shifting, it's fleeing. Running scared from the old pillars, stocks, bonds, traditional safe harbors that once promised steady returns and predictable growth. And that's why the ground beneath us is shaking like never before. The system, as reliable as it seemed, is crumbling. You can feel it in your gut. The frustration, the questions, the gnawing fear that what worked yesterday now might destroy you tomorrow. This is no ordinary cycle. This is a collapse of trust, a massive rerouting of where power and money flow. The mistake, the trap, that so many fall into is thinking this is temporary. It's not. It's permanent. Capital is evolving because the old game is dead. The market is no longer just about quarterly earnings or GDP figures. It's about something deeper, something more primal. It's about where true value is now born, how power is seized, and how wealth is preserved, not by tradition, but by those bold enough to reject tradition altogether. Look, the traditional markets lie. They promise security and stability, but all they deliver is control. Control masked as comfort. They lure you in with the illusion that success is a formula, a fix, a button to press. But you know better. You see past the surface. You feel the cold grip of mediocrity tightening around the best of intentions. The finance systems built decades ago are shackles dressed in suits. Slow, bureaucratic, designed to keep the majority in line, to tame the restless instincts of those who should be setting the pace, who should be leading. This exodus of capital isn't random, it's a signal. A thunderous wake-up call for anyone awake enough to hear it. Capital flees where it is suffocated, where innovation is throttled, and where the future is sold short for the sake of the present's illusionary calm. And yet, it rushes where freedom is real. Freedom not written in policies. Freedom that is lived through action, through invention, through relentless questioning. Capital flows where the rare, the radical, and the truly exceptional find fertile ground, a place where rules bend and new realities emerge. This is your battlefield now, not the dusty, crowded halls of the old stock exchanges, not the noise and distraction of Wall Street's endless chatter. The new frontier is decentralized, bold, and uncompromising. It's where individual sovereignty rules, where your will, your vision, your ability to think beyond the prescribed limits is your greatest weapon. This is about transcending the illusions that have boxed in so many, about reclaiming the power you've always had but was buried under layers of comfort, conformity, and complacency. Imagine a world where you are no longer a pawn in someone else's game, but the architect of your own. Capital moves not by the rules of politicians or old-school economists, but by the alignment of purpose and passion, by networks of misfits and visionaries who refuse to settle. They are the few who dare to burn rather than bend. They reject the lies of equal opportunity and mediocrity, and instead create spaces where exceptional thrives, where brilliance is not just noticed, but amplified. And here's the secret. The market is following them. You might feel isolated right now, like your instincts clash with the mainstream narrative. You are not alone. Many feel the ache of misalignment, a deep surge inside that says, "This isn't it." That ache is the spark of transformation. It's the beginning of liberation, the break from invisible chains that promise ease but deliver emptiness. The truth is, the old system was never built for the exceptional. It was built for the average, the obedient, the predictable. And that's exactly why capital is fleeing it in droves. But it's not just fleeing. It's looking for the autonomous, the decentralized, the mismatched, and the unorthodox. That's where preservation lies. You don't survive by clinging to comfortable dogmas. You survive by being ruthless in your sovereignty, by questioning everything, by reimagining how value is created, accumulated, and shared. This is not a call to scatter. It's a call to unite, not by sameness, but by radical difference, the weaving together of unique strengths, perspectives, and visions into unstoppable power. There's no room here for hesitation. The noise of the critics, the complacent, and the skeptics doesn't matter. The future belongs to those who understand that legacy systems are dying. It belongs to those patient enough to play the eternal game, those bold enough to build new connections, new networks, new ecosystems, and fiercely protective of the rare sparks of genius and innovation that can remake the world. Look at the truth in your hands. Capital is not lost. It is waiting for the architects, the builders, the guardians of the next era. Those who understand that wealth is no longer a number on a screen, but a living, breathing network of aligned passions, risks, and visions. This network transcends borders, nation-states, and outdated power structures. It is global, it is borderless, and it is fueled by people who do not accept false freedom or hollow promises. The system cannot offer this. It can only replicate what it knows. But you know that the new game is won by the rare individuals, those misunderstood, yet fiercely capable, those who refuse to settle for less than total freedom and sovereignty. They don't just dream of change, they embody it. They don't wait for permission, they make the rules. And capital follows them because they are the source of the genuine future. For too long, the world has tried to fit square pegs into round holes. It has tried to tame the wildfire of potential into neat categories and classifications that only stifle growth. The capital flight from traditional markets is a symptom of this failure. It is the body turning away from the toxic air of stagnation toward fresh oxygen. If you watch closely, you'll see the currents pulling capital toward new realms: decentralized finance, alternative assets, emergent technologies, and undiscovered opportunities born from disruption and radical innovation. But it's not just about where the money flows, it's about how we flow with it. Passive income, diversification, hedging, these strategies are no longer enough. The future demands agility, relentless curiosity, and a network of genuine connection. This is about finding your place among those rare few who are ready to burn, not to bend. About crafting alliances that respect individuality and celebrate contrast, because diversity of thought and radical difference are the keys to unlocking power today. Don't fight this shift. Become the shift. Look past the tired narratives that say wealth only comes with compliance. Riches, real transformative wealth, come from stepping outside old bubbles, from radical self-governance, from aligning with others who share your fire. Capital is not abandoning the market because it is disappearing. It's abandoning the market as we know it. It's looking for the network of the extraordinary, the constellation of the free, the circle of the sovereign. The revolution is not loud or chaotic. It's quiet, patient, and deadly precise. It builds slowly but exponentially. It's the one who can wait, who can see beyond the immediate noise, that will hold power. It is those who craft legacy not by copying what has been done, but by inventing what must come next. These are the rare minds and spirits connected by invisible bonds stronger than money, the bonds of mutual respect, relentless will, and shared destiny. This is an invitation and a warning. The old game is over. The markets you trusted are breaking apart. But from that chaos comes the greatest opportunity humanity has ever seen, the chance to remake everything from the ground up. The few who see this now, who feel the pulse in their veins, are the ones who will own the future. They are the ones who don't accept rules handed down from distant rulers, but forge their own paths with clarity, courage, and unbreakable will. Capital flees the familiar because it fears death, but it finds life in the determined, the disruptive, the sovereign. If you want to survive, you must stop running with the herd toward old comforts and start running with the few who burn with you. Seek them, align with them, build with them, because in that rare union lies unstoppable force, and the power to not just withstand the collapse, but to transcend it entirely. You have a choice. Watch from the sidelines as tradition collapses, or step into the fire and help forge what's next. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for signals from outdated institutions who profited from control. The capital is here, waiting for the radical few to seize it, those who question boldly, act ruthlessly, and build relentlessly. Their time is now. This is your moment. The future is already being claimed by those who know that freedom is not given. It is taken. So, consider this the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. The age of safe bets is dead. The era of radical sovereignty is alive and burning brighter with every second. Follow the capital, follow the few, and become the force that no market, no system, no rulebook can ever contain. Because the flight of capital is not an ending, it's the beginning of something far greater than any of us have seen before. and it's calling for you.